It is sunset in Athens, Greece, around 6:30 in the evening, and I had to get a video out to everybody because we have all kinds of interesting stories coming out with regards to Russia, Ukraine, the United States, EU officials, European officials traveling to Ukraine, Zelensky, all kinds of stories that we just have to talk about. And I want to get out to everybody because I find these stories absolutely fascinating. The big story that literally just dropped maybe, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes ago was the fact that Russia is sanctioning Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Anthony Blinken, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, about like 10 other U.S. government officials, and Hunter Biden. So everyone knows that the EU and the U.S., they sanctioned hundreds and hundreds of Russian government officials. Everyone from Parliament, Duma officials, all the way to people like Lavrov, Peskov, and even Vladimir Putin, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Well, the Russian government today announced that they are sanctioning high-level U.S. government officials. And this includes the President of the United States, Joe Biden, though I don't think Joe Biden's really gonna understand what that means. I'm sure the potato head president is probably like, whatever, can I get some vanilla ice cream? And they sanctioned Hillary Clinton. And Blinken, of course, and Hunter Biden. Now, look, these sanctions, I have a couple of thoughts about these sanctions. It's pretty funny to see another country sanction these high-level U.S. government officials. I mean, I don't think, has this ever been done? I don't think this has ever been done. But, practically speaking, it would mean that if the Bidens or Hillary or Blinken or any of these sanctioned officials had assets in Russia, they would be frozen. It would also mean that they can't travel to Russia, though the Russian government did say that it would allow travel of these officials if there is some high-level meetings that needed to be taking place, some official diplomatic missions that needed to take place. They would allow these officials to travel to Russia. Okay, we know that Biden or Hillary or Blinken aren't planning to go to Russia anytime soon. Hunter? Well, Hunter may be a different story. I'll get to Hunter Biden in a bit. So there's a lot of trolling going on here. Absolutely. This is kind of the Russian government trolling the U.S. government. And it doesn't sound like a Russian government that's in disarray or disillusion, does it? When they sanction the president of the United States and Hillary Clinton. It doesn't sound like a Putin leadership that is falling apart, does it? So there's some trolling going on here, no doubt about it. But I want to throw some other things out there. Maybe Hillary Clinton does have some business assets in Russia or maybe Ukraine. Maybe the Bidens do have some money that's, I don't know, somewhere in Ukraine, tucked away, hidden away. It's a possibility. Well, they're not going to get that money back. Hunter Biden, well, we all know about Hunter Biden and his Burisma connections in Ukraine, right? We all know about those. But maybe Hunter Biden has some unfinished business or some funds that are, stuck in Ukraine somewhere. Who knows? I doubt it. But it's a possibility. Maybe Hunter Biden was looking to do some more business in Ukraine with the oligarchs and get, 10% for the big guy. That's all gone now. 10% for the big guy. All the corruption and laundering of funds that were going to Ukraine and then getting funneled back to the US and the EU. That's all over now. And if there are any funds that are just lying around in various financial institutions in Ukraine or in Russia, well, those are going to be confiscated, Keep in mind that Bill Clinton actually gave speeches in Moscow at a time, and he got paid like $500K for those speeches. So who knows? Who knows what assets these guys have all around the world? But they're definitely, the Russian government's definitely trolling them. And if there are any assets lying around, well, those are done. Those are gone. And more importantly, what it signals is the Russian government saying, you know what? All the corruption, all the money that the U.S. and the EU, all of these government officials were making from Ukraine, and they were making a boatload from Ukraine, it's all over. It's all over. You had deals with Hillary Clinton with the uranium in Russia as well. There's all kinds of stuff that was going on. That's all over now. And finally, the last thing I want to say about this story is two things. I want to say two things about this story. The one thing is that, boy, is this going to piss them off. I know that Joe Biden's going to probably laugh about this when he gives an interview to I don't know, Stephanopoulos or something like that in the U.S. And Hillary Clinton's going to probably cackle about this when she gives her interviews to Rachel Maddow. But deep down inside, these untouchables, these people that are untouchable, that are above the law, that this is really going to hurt them. The fact that they put sanctions on Hunter Biden, well, we all know what message the Russian government is trying to send to the Bidens. They put Hunter on that list because they're basically saying, yeah, we know all about your son and all about the corruption and everything that went on in Burisma and all kinds of shenanigans that were taking place. And he's on the sanctions list now as well. They're taking a dig at Hunter Biden because they're signaling to not only the Bidens, but to the whole world that we know all about the schemes that were going on with Burisma and the oligarchs in Ukraine and the 10% for the big guy and all of that. This is going to bruise their ego in a big, big freaking way. I mean, Hillary Clinton will cackle about it when she's speaking with Rachel Maddow, but deep down inside, she's going to be fuming because to them, they're going to say, no one can do this to us. That's going to be their thinking. I'm above the law. I'm invincible. I'm untouchable. How dare Putin sanction me? That is exactly what they are thinking. I'm at the Olympic Stadium, by the way. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. And as I was walking, I said, you know what? Let me put out this video while I'm here. Olympic Stadium at nighttime. The first Olympic Stadium. I've done a bunch of videos from here. So, finally, the last thing I want to say is, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur had a commission in Malaysia, and they found George W., guilty of war crimes for the illegal invasion in Iraq. And they actually found George W. Bush guilty of war crimes. And after they found him guilty, you had all kinds of Malaysian aircraft gone missing and stuff like that. So, keep that in mind that, these untouchable elites, or as someone told me on Locals, these retrogrades, which is another word to call the elites, the Davos crowd, retrogrades. But these people, they don't take kindly to countries that do this to them, because in their mind, and as we have seen, rightly so, they are untouchable. They are above the law. And when Russia does this to them, they're going to be absolutely fuming. So, yes, it's a troll. Maybe they are going to confiscate some assets, but this is going to really hurt the egos of the Clintons and the Bidens and the Blinkens to a lesser degree, and Lloyd Austin and these people. So anyway, I wanted to get that story out there. I also want to talk about the story that we have some EU officials. We have the Prime Minister of Poland, we have Czech Republic, and we have Slovenia. They're going to be traveling to Kiev to speak with Zelensky. And according to the official EU readout, they're going to speak with Zelensky in order to convey the EU's undying support and unconditional support for the Zelensky government. That's a load of BS, that's bull crap. That's not why they're traveling to Kiev to meet with Zelensky. They're traveling to Kiev to meet with Zelensky in order to, I believe, in order to find a way to to get Zelensky to surrender. That's my own opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Because think about it this way, a couple of things. In order for them to take a train from Poland to Kiev, Russia would have had to guarantee safe passage, right? That's the first thing. So Russia would have had to know, why do these top level officials from EU countries, I mean, the Prime Minister of Poland is going to be on this train. Why does this delegation need to travel to Kiev? They're going to know. They're going to say, yes, we'll give you safe passage to Kiev. Russia has to give them safe passage. They're going to do that. Think about it. The media has been saying that Kiev is under siege and Russia has devastated all of Ukraine and they've destroyed all of Ukraine. But now you're going to have EU officials traveling by train to Kiev in order to meet with Zelensky. Does that sound like the picture that Western mainstream media has been putting out there with regards to the destruction and damage that they've been saying has happened in Ukraine or Kiev? Not really. The fact that these EU country elected officials, the prime ministers of these EU countries, are going to be able to travel from a train from Poland to Kiev and meet with Zelensky in Kiev, kind of gives you a different picture as to what's going on the ground. The reality of the situation is, as we have said many times, that the Russian government has told the military not at this moment. This may change. They've told the Russian military, surround the city, but don't go in. And they are going to guarantee safe passage to these prime ministers and EU dignitaries to go to Kiev and meet with Zelensky. Now, why do they want to meet with Zelensky? My hunch is telling me that they want to tell Zelensky it's over. Because while the mainstream media is painting the narrative that Russia is losing the war and the Putin government is in disarray and they're disillusioned and tanks are just not working and Ukrainians are defeating these tanks with broomsticks and stuff like that, I think that they know the reality of the situation. The Prime Minister of Poland knows what's going on. The Czech Republic knows what's going on. Slovenia knows what's going on. They've seen the reports. They see what's happening on the ground. They know that the Russians have taken all of Kherson. They've got full control of the Kherson Oblast, the Kherson region, all of that. They're about to take control of Mariupol. They've got, what I've heard, they've got 70 to 80,000 Ukraine military trapped in the Donbass. This is, once again, I could be wrong, but I'm getting reports that this is a bad situation for the Ukraine military in the Donbass. And I think these officials are going to Kiev to meet with Zelensky in order to figure out a way to solve this, because the army in the East is about to collapse. And as the army in the East collapses, so does the narrative. So keep that in mind. Once again, I could be completely wrong about this. I really could. But this is just my hunch. Let me know what you guys think down below as well. I'm interested to hear what you think about this in the comments section. So, they're going to go and they're going to meet with Zelensky, and you know that the Russians know what's going on and they've been briefed on this, and they're going to give safe passage. And keep in mind what I said. The fact that they're traveling to Kiev on a train should tell you everything you need to know about how the Russians have tiptoed into Ukraine and have taken a very soft approach with regards to Ukraine. I'm not saying that this hasn't been a tragedy, and I'm not saying that that people have not suffered. This is, this type of stuff is horrific, but, this has been, from a military standpoint, given the wars we've seen previously, like bombing Belgrade for 80 nights, or what we saw in Iraq, or what we saw in Syria, this has been a very soft approach from the Russian military. These are my thoughts, and these are the conclusions that I've come up with the information that I've taken a look at. So that's an interesting development, a very interesting development. Let's see what happens with regards to that. And we have Zelensky himself, who will be speaking to Congress tomorrow. So the actor is going to be This is the big stage now. This is it. He's going to be performing on the biggest stage on primetime U.S. television, speaking to the House and the Senate and to Pelosi and Mitch. You know, that's it. Zelensky's made it. This is big time for Zelensky. He's an actor. He's going to deliver his script, and we'll see what comes from that. NATO has confirmed that they're not going to get involved with no-fly zones. They said they're not going to get involved in any of this. They've confirmed it again today, but everyone is worried about a false flag, as am I. And as the military collapses in the east, we're going to see what options are left for the neocons and the neolibs to try and prolong this situation. But no doubt about it, the actor puppet is going to be giving a very, very big speech to the Congress and to the American people, and I'm sure he's going to get a standing ovation, and everyone's going to be saluting him as the heroic figure, and yeah, he is the when you think about Zelensky, he is the type of hero that this time that we are living in kind of calls for, because there's nothing real about him. He is a myth, and he's a actor turned politician. And Gonzalo Lira talks about this in a video that he just put up. He's very much like an AOC figure, an actor who was recruited into this job and who's now giving this performance to the entire world, just like AOC is an actress who's giving a performance of being in Congress. Zelensky is giving this performance now, and this is a life or death performance that he's giving, but nonetheless, this is a performance, and he's now going to be giving his I don't know, maybe it's going to be a curtain call to the U.S. public and to Congress. No doubt he's going to be throwing out all the cliches and all the slogans about how Ukraine is winning this and how the U.S. needs to step up and democracy and freedom and all of these things. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lap it up. But anyway, you have that story as well, which is going to be big news on Wednesday. And well, we'll see after that what happens. But I thought I would get this information out to all of you guys, and I will leave it there, theduran.locals.com. Take care.